This is my planner. It's a disc bound. I have it in 11-ger leather cover, which I really love. It's an old one. I have no idea how old, but I think it's cool. So in the beginning of it here, I based my my planner setup on Getting Things Done by David Allen. I really like this system, but I like other systems as well. So even though I set it up for the most part how he recommends, I still have my own touch within the planner. So the first part here shows my pens and some stickies and the cover of the actual disc bound planner and a pocket. And he recommends the first thing you start with is your inbox, that everything that you think about, any papers that you get or anything you have to deal with, this is your collection point. Now in a planner like this, you shouldn't overwhelm it with every little piece of mail or every little doodad you get that you have to think about. So maybe you should have another inbox somewhere that only in your planner, the ones that that pertain to the day or whatever can go in there. But anyway, so I don't have a whole lot of stuff in the inbox part of it. I have like a little brain dump sheet that I'll do, and that's basically it. I don't put a lot of extra papers or whatever. I have another system for that. Then the next section is the calendar. And in my calendar, I have that little time bandits that I got from another system. And I have my dailies. And I print these out in Outlook. I like my own. I'm a left-handed, so I have all my area that I can journal on the left-hand side because it's easier to write for lefties. And then the actual schedule or the where I can write my appointments are on the right, because I don't need to spend a lot of time writing on that side. Because now, at this point, I will show you, I actually have been having it pre-printed, so it's very little I have to write. So with the with this system, you don't write your to-do list really in your calendar. Anything that goes in the calendar is something that is time specific, day specific, you know, information. So I do journal though. Like right here I talked about one of the goats giving birth. And, you know, so I'll occasionally use that. It's a nice little journaling area because I like to do that. So that, and I keep like only like maybe a week's worth in here. And where I can put my clients, I just put their initials, protect their confidentiality in case somebody saw this. And then my regular little daily checklist I'll put here because it prints out itself. I don't have to write it over and over again, so it prints out in Outlook for me. So there's my little inspiration, and this is you know, today. So then my next section in mine is the monthlies, and you keep like maybe 3 months. Well, I think I have the 6 months in here. I don't like to keep a whole year's worth in months because it can overwhelm the planner, and it's not really necessary to keep, you know, a whole year's worth in at one time. Because if I need to plan ahead, I can use, I'll show you, I can use these. I have yearly pages that I could, you know, look at the whole entire year and do what I need there. And like, again, date specific information would go in there only, no to-do list. The to-do lists basically go in the next action section. So that's my next section. I made these myself. And he recommends basically you set up your categories for your next actions based on where you are performing the activity. So next actions have to be actionable items, obviously, something you actually do. And I have mine set up, you know, where I would do these actions. Like, for example, phone calls, at the computer, at work at home, so at my office at home, or outside, because I work outside a lot with our clients, and with my animals, because I have mules and goats and chickens and many animals outside. You know, items for at home, items for when I'm running errands, anywhere, things I can do anywhere. I honestly don't have anything in that section. And a waiting for section, and I added an email section, although that would be still computer related. But I can do emails on my phone, so I wanted to have its own separate section. But this is a sheet I've been experimenting with where I can put my projects and then where I can categorize the actions within each project. Like I'm want to clean our upstairs, which has become a collection point. We don't have, it's just my husband and I here. So our upstairs has become pretty much a collection point of stuff as we're getting ready to move. And I'm going to be able to pack everything up and, you know, categorize everything, so I know where everything is when we move, and then we finally get to our destination, I can have a better organization of unpacking. So, but that would be one project. So there's this sheet I just kind of started out with just writing down. It's more like a brain dump where I was trying to figure out how to categorize my actions. And you can see I have my phone. The computer one is the largest one. Email, I'm not using that quite maybe as much as I should. And then office, and then these are the rest of the categories. I need to make some new tabs, but it's working so far. It just, you know, I have my shopping and coupons and so forth also in there in the errands section, because I don't want to have to fumble around through my planner looking for things. I know if I'm running errands, I might go to the post office, you know, go to this store, that store, whatever, and I want to have everything in that same section. This next section is the agenda, and basically, and I'm trying to. The agenda is basically you're going to put people you need to contact, so, or you have contact with. So in this, I don't put my clients in here because I have a different a notebook that I use for them, but I have other contacts, other things that I'm working on, like just, you know, things for home, things for, you know, us moving, you know, so I have, I can keep track of who I'm contacting, and it's just all in one place. It is very convenient having the agenda. It can also, if you go to meetings, you know, what have you, you can, where you do, you know, presentations or whatever, you can write down your what you're planning to ask or what you're planning to talk about or whatever in your agenda. So it makes it very, you know, much more organized place for me to, I'm trying to reveal private stuff here, but, and then the next section I have is the projects section. So I have about our moving. That one, it was kind of like an experimentation page because I'm still trying to figure out how I want to organize my projects. I have like different pages in here. I like these. These are ARC pages, but I I also use these kinds of project pages, but basically your projects are, according to David Allen, things, actions that you have more than one step or more than one thing that you have to do. So let's say me cleaning upstairs, it is involves, you know, I had to go purchase some tubs to organize some of my craft things, and I had to separate some the items so I can put, you know, certain beaded things in one tub and paint things in another tub. So those are all separate steps. So that actually becomes a project. It's not it's no longer an action. It is a project that consists of more than one action, and I'll get to that, why you do that. It's how you organize the things that you are trying to work on. So I have a few pages in there about my projects, and the next section is waiting for. So this would be when you delegate something, or somebody's working on a project with you and you're waiting on things that they have to do. In my case, my husband and I work together, and so sometimes I have to, you know, I'm waiting for something he has to do before I can continue doing what I need to do. So that's a place to list those things. And I kind of want to maybe experiment with different ways to lay out those forms to make it a better, you know, instead of just listing them all, listing everything. And then the next section is someday, or these are things that I don't have anything in it right now, but these are things that I'm not doing right now, but I'm going to do at some point, but I just don't have a time line yet. They're not, I don't know when. I know it's something I need to do, but I don't have an idea yet of when it's going to be done. So this is a collection point for those kinds of items. And then there's the list section. The list section I'm using for checklists. So I have supplements to order. I have in here whenever we this is a habit tracker I had downloaded, and I'm using it for recording animal, you know, what we need to purchase for our animals, their feed, etc. So I can kind of see how often we're purchasing hay or alfalfa pellets or chicken scratch or what have you. And this is something else I had used a long time ago for supplements. I haven't been recording mine on there yet. I might take that out and just use a list. And so that's that. I know there are some other checklists back here that, and then the last section would be the reference section. So in there you could you know, would be maybe like passwords if you keep them, or contact information, like maybe like telephone address, email lists. You could put you know, anything that's referenced. So things that, you know, might be necessary for you to look at in order while you're working on your actions or your projects in your planner. So I know this is a little might be a little confusing to see how I did it. I've seen how other people do it, and I can honestly say this is probably the best working planner I have used so far. I find that I really use my planner a lot better than before, where it was just simply kind of like a daily or weekly, you know, calendar type of thing. So anyway, there you go.